If you're building an app or you're thinking about it, the industry is changing fast. What worked a few years ago isn't going to cut it anymore in 2025 and beyond. I've helped businesses adapt to the latest trends and avoid costly mistakes. In this video today, I'm going to be breaking down the biggest shifts happening in the mobile app development space and what you need to know to stay ahead. And at the end, I'm going to share with you guys a key strategy that can future-proof your app so it doesn't become outdated too soon. If you're interested, then definitely keep watching. So the first major thing that I want to talk to you guys today about is about IoT-powered apps. Because in the last 10 to 15 years, you may have noticed that, the world has gotten a lot more connected than ever before. Maybe if you look around your house, maybe you'll have a couple of smart home devices inside your house. Or maybe if you walk inside, your office building at work, maybe you've noticed inside your office building that there are smart powered lights inside your office building to optimize when to show the optimal amount of lights when there are people around and to turn off lights when people have gone home for the day. Or let's say, for example, you're walking down a busy street, in your central business district, and there are trackers to track how many people are walking down a particular street during the day and at night time and all that. But the thing with all these devices is that they're all IoT powered and they're all being controlled from a central place and all that. But the biggest challenge with these devices is that a lot of these devices nowadays are wanting IoT powered apps. And this is the main thing that businesses need in order to stay ahead of the competition and all that, by having a specialized IoT app which can support the device in order to control it and to view data and all that. And there are many challenges with these IoT devices, including seamless connectivity, real-time data processing by all the data that these devices are collecting, and as well as IoT security as well, because all these devices will always need to stay ahead of the curve especially of IoT security to avoid any hackers and any leaks happening of all the data that's been collected from these devices and all that. And that is why it is so important to work with an experienced developer who not only understands app development but also embedded software and IoT solutions to combine the two together in order to create an app that can also stay ahead of the market and also beat the competition as well. The IoT market is continuing to grow as the years pass by, especially as our world has gotten more connected than ever before, especially in the sectors of including the medical device industry, the wearable device industry, and smart lighting as well. So if you're a business owner still stuck in the early 2000s, it might be time for a reality check and to take advantage of the new IoT-powered app trends which are happening currently in the era of the 2020s. And if you want to be able to understand how IoT Bluetooth connectivity works and all that, I actually give a detailed breakdown of how it all works in this video over here on my channel. I'll put the thumbnail of that video over here. The next thing I want to talk about is, well, to be honest, everybody's been talking about it the last year and a bit because, this thing has obviously changed the entire tech sector. I think you guys know what I'm going to be talking about, because even Mark Zuckerberg said he's going to replace his staff, with this one thing. I'm not sure whether he was going to replace all of his staff, but he was going to cut down a lot of his staff for this one thing. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about. It's obviously AI. So obviously AI has been the latest game changer, especially in mobile app development in 2025 and all that, because I obviously need to talk about AI, especially in this scenario for myself, because, with how AI can help me and you is that because, when I'm developing an app for you guys, when I'm working with you, it's obviously going to help speed up the process, because it's also going to be able to help me debug code and all that, and it's also going to be helping me able to get your designs that you've given it to me, and also transfer the designs, from the designs into actual code that I can use in your mobile app and all that. So it's something that I couldn't avoid talking about with you guys today. And as well as with the latest developments of AI and machine learning, we can actually use those advantages to actually integrate those advantages into your app and all that. So let's say, for example, you actually have an app with a lot of data that we can use. Maybe we can train an AI machine model to actually analyze the data and actually take the next steps of what the next best thing is to do by using the data we have with machine learning. Or maybe we have a bunch of information and maybe the user has a lot of questions they would like to ask, with all the information that they have, and maybe we can train a chatbot by using AI to answer those questions easily, by training a chatbot with AI and all that. So obviously, those are the advantages of having AI, in our apps today and all that. But it's not going to take over the whole tech industry and all that just as yet. Obviously, it's making people a lot more productive and all that. We can't deny that and everything. But this whole crusade of like, oh, it's going to take all of our jobs, and we're all screwed, and maybe we don't need to hire freelancers anymore and all that jazz. I disagree. I think it's definitely changed for the better, but not everyone's going to be out of a job just entirely just as yet. Lately I've been getting this question from potential clients and all that. They say to me, they ask me this question of like, Sahil, why should I work with you when I can just use ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and Copilot just to do the work for me? And it's a valid question and all that. And my response to that question is, yeah, you have those tools that you can use for free and all that. But what happens if you run into a problem that you can't solve yourself? Or maybe you come from a non-technical background where you actually have no idea of actually what the codes that are being generated and all that, and actually how to fix an issue and all that. Or maybe you don't know how to debug an issue or a hardware issue, and you have no idea how to actually put the project together and actually set up the integrated development environment and all that. ChatGPT can help you to some extent, but by having that experienced person who actually understands what's going on, who can actually give you that tailored feedback and guideline and process for your individual project, that comes a long way, when you're actually working with someone to actually help bring your app to life and all that. It's kind of like, for example, I told my accountant friend, I can just use ChatGPT to do my tax return for me. It knows all the latest tax laws and all that of this year and all that. But in fact, I was wrong because ChatGPT and all these AI tools, the way that it currently works is that they don't always update it. So maybe the current laws, maybe there are some new tax laws that I can use to take advantage of tax deductions, which maybe ChatGPT doesn't know about now. So that's why there is an advantage of actually hiring a professional to actually help you and actually get the best outcome. Now, before we get talking about the final thing today, if you need my help actually building an app which actually connects to a device successfully, you can click on the link below to learn more about me, and let's see whether we're the right fit and hopefully get your app launched successfully. And the last major trend that I want to talk with you guys today about is about cross-platform malware app development. Because in the last few years, especially with the release of Flutter from Google and React Native from Facebook, this has been a game changer in malware app development. Because with these two platforms, they allow us to develop an app within a single code base and deploy on both Android and iOS at the same time. Because, around about 10 years ago, when I first started getting into malware app development and started learning the ropes and all that, we could only deploy an app on one platform within that one code base. So let's say, for example, if we wanted to develop an app if we wanted to release an app on Android, we could only develop that app within Android, Java, or Kotlin at the time. Or if we wanted to deploy, if we wanted to have that same app on the iOS platform, we would have to have another project, but that would be written in Objective-C or Swift and only strictly be developed on that iOS platform at the time. But with the advantages of React Native and Flutter is that we can have that same code base in React or in Flutter and just deploy that single code base working on both Android and iOS at the same time, which is such a game changer now, especially in 2025 and beyond. And especially business owners should be taking advantage of by using cross-platform solutions such as Flutter and React Native, because it saves you so much time, money, and effort by just having that one code base and being able to deploy your app out onto Android and iOS without the major headaches and without having to hire extra people having to manage multiple code bases. So I highly recommend you take advantages of the cross-platform solutions which are out there now, especially with React Native and Flutter out now. out in the market in 2025 and beyond. So if you followed everything that I've shared with you guys today, you'll be ahead of the curve towards the future of mobile app development. Now right now, you guys have two choices. You can take the insights you've learned and try and build and scale an app by yourselves, or you can work with me directly, helping you build your app to save you time, money and effort and help you get you launched successfully. You can click on the link below to learn more about it, and let's talk.